Welcome to today's live lab. Today we are going to be talking about resumes. What are they? What information is included? What they are for, and kind of how to get you going on one if you haven't gotten there yet, or if you had issues completing the assignment at the end of the job seeking module. I had surprisingly a lot of folks that had questions. What I thought to be real basic questions about it. Um, So I just want to go over some of that and make sure that everybody's up to speed. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do is share my screen. I do have just a small couple of slides. Still getting used to Teams. All right. Can everybody see what is a resume? Awesome sauce. So what is a resume? A resume is a concise document, which means a very detailed document summarizing an individual's professional background, skills, and qualifications, typically used in job applications. So, a lot of folks will still require you to fill out a job application, that basic standard form that they give to everybody. But it looks really, really good if you hand them their application back with a resume attached. It looks really good. That shows that you're a professional and you've got your stuff together, right? So, what's included in a resume? It's basically all the same information that they asked you in that form, just set up a little bit more professionally and put together um, a little bit more clear and concise and kind of niche down to our industry or to whatever industry you're trying to get into. Okay, so let's talk about what it includes. So the first thing is going to be that cover letter, right? And most of the questions that I had were, how do I get my cover letter and my resume together? And the simple solution to that is type them both up in Microsoft Word in one document. You can add a second page to documents in Microsoft Word, and then they'll save together. So your first page will be your cover letter, and then your second page will be the resume itself. Okay. So that's the easiest way. And the reason I recommend that, especially if you're not tech savvy, um, and you're not used to working on the internet or working on different documents on the internet, you're not used to Canva or any kind of software like that, Microsoft Word is really basic. It's what you're going to use to type up all your appeal letters, any documentation that you have to send off to insurance companies or your employer or anything like that. Most of this stuff is going to be done in Word, okay? And also, Microsoft Word will allow you to save it as a PDF. And the reason that's important is because not everybody has Microsoft Word. I would say that probably 98% of working America uses or has access to Microsoft Word, but not everybody. Not everybody. So we want everybody to be able to look at our resume, right? Whoever it goes to, we want them to have that access. PDFs, anybody can look at it. Okay. Anybody can look at it and see your resume. But if we're stuck in a Word document, we it's up in the air. They may or they may not. All right, so that's a little bit about the cover letter. And the cover letter is just going to say, "Hey, I'm a medical billing and what let's say you're applying for the industry that we're training for." It's going to say, "I'm a medical billing and coding student. I look forward to bringing value to a team environment, looking forward to put my training into use and all that kind of stuff." You're telling them that you're excited for the job and just a real small amount about yourself. You're a student, you're in training, you're excited. You're pumped. You're the girl for the job or boy for the job, depending. Okay. That's the cover letter. It does not need to be long and involved. If it's too long, a lot of them are going to skip on past it. Keep it a paragraph about. Okay. All right. The second thing is going to be your skills and qualifications. And this does not have to be just medical billing and coding certification at Unitech. We need like organizational skills. If you've ever worked in a management capacity, did you do scheduling? Did you do payroll? Did you do, customer service? All these different all these different things that you learned how to do on any job can relate to a skill or an ability that you can put into use. Okay. So we want to list everything that we can. But here's the other thing. Watch out for being repetitious. And if it's too long, like keep it relevant. We're going to see, like I say there, list relevant skills and experience. Let's not, if we're applying for a medical office job, let's not include that I know how to, work a 5-fryer setup at McDonald's. I can do that. It's irrelevant. They don't care. That's you're wasting space on your resume with something like that. Okay. Cashier, unless you're applying for like specifically a payment posting job, cash handling ability is not a big deal. Now, if you're applying for a payment posting job, you handled cash, you were responsible for the deposits, you were, accurate in your accounting. You want that on there, right? That's relevant to that position. Okay. If the position, I know me and Michelle had looked at a couple of job postings, and one of them said that one of the job expectations was you were going to be on the phone with patients talking about bills and past dues and this and that. So you want to mention that you've got customer service experience answering phones if you worked in some kind of call center or you worked the front desk of a medical office before and you have that experience, you want to put that on there. That's relevant to it. Okay. All right. And it's kind of the same with the work history. We're going to go back about 5 years. And some of y'all don't have 5 years or it's broken up or whatever. You're going to list in the past 5 years the jobs that were relevant or show that you're going to add value to this job. Okay. Any kind of supervisory positions, good. Customer service is good. But keep it as close to it as you can. And guys, if you've never worked in a medical office and you think none of it's relevant, just put what you did. Just put what you did. It is what it is. This is where I'm at in my life. This is what I've been doing. This is where I want to go. That's what you put in your cover letter is where you want to go. Okay. This is where I've been. This is where I want to go. Lay it out for them. All right. So let's see. Number 4, education, training, and certifications. All right. So you might ask, how is this different than skills and qualifications? It's kind of hand in hand. All right. Your education, you're going to, anywhere you went to school and got a certification or got some experience, got whatever you got, you're going to list it there. Okay. Anything that's beneficial that makes you look more attractive as a candidate for that position. Training and certifications. At the end of this program, we're all going to be NCCT certified, right? So we're definitely going to be putting that on our resume. And that's going to look good for us. That's going to look good. Personal interest section, number 5. And the reason that I actually added this in here last minute. This was not on this slide before, but I added it in because I've been doing some research lately about resumes and job hunting and different things because I'm trying to get put my foot in a little deeper into the career services department of Unitech. I guess I'm trying to help out there a little bit. So I've been doing some research and I came across this article and it was a guy who is a professional hiring recruiter. Okay. He's been doing this for like 25 years. And one of the blurbs that he put in this article was a personal interest section. A very small, very brief, something about you, personal interest. You like to read, you like to garden, you have a dog, you cross stitch, you diamond paint, whatever your hobby, you fish, you hunt, whatever your hobbies are. And the reason he says this, and what made me put it in there, was because he said it, and then a bunch of people commented on the article and said, I have found that adding that in there has made my job interviews easier, because they look at that and they automatically oh, you're interested in this? I do that. And then you start more having a conversation, and they start thinking of you less as an applicant and more as an equal, somebody who has something in common with them. So a small personal interest section, I'm going to go ahead and add that to my resume. I like that idea. It makes sense to me. So I think you guys ought to give that a try too. All right. Any questions about what we include or what we don't include? Anything you're unsure about? And when I say include, like all your histories, training, certifications, volunteer work, church, all the things, okay? Anything you've ever done that was community based, out of the goodness of your heart. What you got?
So, like, if we don't have any experience, do we just like leave that part out?
No. But what you've been doing.
What do we do?
Yeah. And if you've been at home taking care of the babies, but that you've been at home taking care of the babies. Because there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong at being where you are, wherever that is. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody is looking for somebody that just came from somewhere else. They might want a fresh person that they can train their way. So you might be the best looking candidate. You might look better to them than somebody else because you're not coming from another office and, well, you're used to doing things this way. And at my old office, we did things this way. Sometimes they're not looking for that. Sometimes they want somebody fresh. So I say you be as honest as possible. If you've got the relevant work history, put it there. But if not, just put where you're at in your life. And that, including your cover letter, that you're ready to get your career started. You're ready to be a part of an efficient and prosperous team. Great question. Great question. All right. Any other questions about that part? Nope. All right. Let's see if I can go to if it'll just let me go to the next page. Yeah. There we go. All right, sweet. All right, so a few little tips and tricks. If you have never done a resume before, this is your first time, use Google. Ask for resume examples. Get yourself some inspiration. Take some tips and tricks, okay? And not only Google, guys. AI, we have AI now, and if you want something to sound really professional, AI is a great way to say that. Type up your own little paragraph and then go to ChatGPT and you can type in, make this sound more professional, and then put what you put, paste what you had, what you came up with, and it'll just rewrite what you wrote and just make it sound, it'll be grammatically correct, your spelling should be good, and it's going to sound good. It's going to sound good and professional. Okay, but get you some examples and inspiration and stuff like that from Google and different websites. Again, Microsoft Word is easiest if you aren't too tech savvy. And if you aren't, it's a great place to start getting to know software. Okay. They also have templates. Microsoft has resume and cover letter templates built in. And we're going to look at that in just 1 second. Save your resume as a PDF so anyone can view it. We already talked about that. Name the file so that it is easily identified. For example, how many people do you think take the time to, when they save their resume, to rename the file? And it just comes back as how many ever alphanumeric whatevers that your computer came up with, or it just says resume, Or if they have a file and it says Brandy Guillory resume from 8/25, I know exactly who that is. I know when that's from, and I know what it is. So I've got all kinds of identifiers right there in the title of it. And it also, guys, it helps me stay organized. Because I'll tell you what, I have a couple of files that stay in my computer. One is brandy.guilloryresume.master. And that has all of my personal identification or personal identifying stuff that I just add to here and there. And whenever I need a resume, I copy and paste from that into a resume specified for whatever job I am applying for. Okay. And that way I always have the master. It's always there already filled out. And I can just take what I want to make a new resume out of it to fit whatever job I'm applying for. Because I'll be honest, I've done a lot of stuff. So, and like I've said in my class before, if the day should come where I need a job, I'll take whatever job that pays the bills and keeps a roof over my child's head. So I will fall back on whatever experience I got and make it work for me. All right. And that brings me to the last point. It is okay to have more than one resume for different positions and experiences. Stay relevant to the position you are applying for. All right. So if, God forbid, I needed a job come tomorrow and I looked on Indeed and the only thing there was AutoZone or Advanced Auto Parts was hiring for an assistant manager or a store manager, that was the best paying job I could find in the listings, I would apply for that job and I would use my auto parts resume. Why? Because I worked myself through college running auto parts in a little Toyota Tacoma. I did that. I also worked myself up to assistant manager in that job. So I've got supervisory position in an auto parts retail establishment. I'll go work at AutoZone if I got to. If there are no medical billing jobs available in my area, I will go work at AutoZone until one comes available. In the meantime, I'm going to take my pretty little medical billing resume and I'm going to go drop it off to every doctor's office in my area, and every hospital, every urgent care, everything that I feel like is in my area where I want to work. But you got to want it. You got to be hungry. Because the hungrier you are, the more effort you're going to put into it. And the more effort you put into it, the more it's going to pay you back. Okay. So that is the slides. And the only other thing, we got one more little thing we're going to do today. We're going to pop into Microsoft Word. And I am going to just show you guys where to find a few basic things. All right. So please disregard my Desi mess top. I need to organize some files right now. But my software that I use all the time is right here, easily accessible. All right. Did it pop up the Word window for y'all? Can y'all see that? Okay, great. All right. You see, I can start a blank document or I can go into any of my recent documents that I've had open. Or up here at the top, it says search for online templates. And then it gives me suggested searches. Business, cards, flyers, letters, education, and then resumes and cover letters. Woot woot. Gold, baby. And there's 240 to choose from. 240. Now, I will say this. Once you start picking one of these fancy ones with a picture, it may take some work. And if you want to work on that, if you want to change out the picture and stuff like that, you may need to look on YouTube how to change a picture in Microsoft Word, because I picked one that had this really cute round picture, and I don't have a round picture of myself. I could go to Canva and make one real quick. In fact, it was this one. So we'll say that. Look, blue spheres. I click create, and voila, right? And then I just go in and add my information. And like I said, the picture is a different thing. You would have to delete this out and then replace it with a picture of your own. But then you just go in and fill out You know, this is for a cover letter. So again, you see how it's real short? It's not the whole page. Cover letter, right? All right, so that's where the templates are. So cover letter, let's say I want to add my resume to this. What am I going to do? I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to hit enter until it brings me to another page. Okay. And then you go from there, you can start typing your resume on that second page from there, and it'll all save together. Okay. Or copying and pasting from one you already have. All right. So now how do I save this and name it as a PDF so I can either upload it to my final exam for Module 174 or get it ready to send out to employers? We're going to go to File up here in the corner. All right. Now, instead of save, you're going to go Save As. Okay. Because we're changing the file format. So we're going to save it as something different. So you're going to go Save As. And I like, when I'm working on stuff, y'all can see my desktop's messy. I save everything to my desktop first so I know where it's easy to find. So I'm going to pick desktop. And then it's going to open you up a little window like this. And the first thing, it's already highlighted for you, file name. Randy Guillory. And I don't use any spaces in my file names because sometimes that throws off computers. .resume. And we are in August of 2025. So I'm going to do 0825. And then this second option is save as type. Microsoft will let you save it different file types. All right. So we have PDF about halfway down the list. And a lot of these options, guys, you're never going to use. Most of these you will not use. You will mostly save stuff as a Word document or a PDF. So we're going to save it as a PDF. And we're going to click Save. And let's see, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to show y'all how it came up. I'm going to share how it opened up as a PDF. You see, I didn't change the picture, but it's got my name there where I changed that. And then I've got this second page that's blank. But your resume would be there after you add that in, okay? And like the little circles and stuff, you can delete all that. That's all stuff that you can take off or add in or whatever. Okay, but you see how easy that is, having it all in one document? So people, okay, I got to open this attachment in the email. That was the cover letter. Okay, now I got to open this attachment. They're going to skip the cover letter, go straight to the resume, skim it, like 30 seconds. I think that's what the people who do the hiring, that's how long they spend on resumes. 30-second skim. So if you don't stand out, you're getting put back in the pile. Okay. So any questions about Word, file saving, file format, anything like that? No? We're good?
I don't know how to make like the cover letter and the resume join files. Like I couldn't do that to save my life yesterday.
You just add, like, what file format are they in now? They're PDFs or, oh, you muted yourself, Casey.
Yes, ma'am, PDF.
Okay, so what you're going to do, what I would do is I would open up a Microsoft Word document and it's going to open you up one page. You're going to take your cover letter, highlight everything that's in it, and you're going to copy and paste that onto the first page. You're going to enter down until it makes you a second page, and then you're going to go to your resume. You're going to copy all that and paste it into that second page. Yes, ma'am. Don't worry about retyping it. Copy and paste it into one document together.
Okay.
Yeah, shouldn't take you too long. Like I said, once you get to like in Microsoft Word, it's basically a typing program. It's there for you just to type notes and documents and stuff. So once you get to the end of a page, once you press enter, it's automatically going to create you a second page. And it'll create like up to hundreds of pages. As big of a document as you need, it'll create for you. So you just enter and let it go down the lines until it gets to that second page. And then you just paste your resume stuff on there. Yep. Good question though, because that was one of the questions that I had the most was like, okay, I have a cover letter and I have my resume, but you're only letting me upload one file. And that's right, because I want y'all to put them together so that it's more attractive to the people you're sending it to. Great question, Casey. Your good questions today. Awesome sauce. All right, folks, that's all I got for y'all today. Is there any other questions, concerns while we're here? No?
I'm
No
not sure
big.
if any,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm not
Casey.
sure if anybody noticed, but whenever you're using the Microsoft Word templates for the resume and the cover letter, any information that is going to be repeated, it automatically fills it in for you. Which I
Isn't
think
that
is
cool?
awesome.
They have it.
Yeah.
It's like AI is getting really cool because it'll kind of like they're integrating AI into the software to where it's going to be like, okay, well, this is who's sending it. They're going to sign it with this. And it's getting really neat. Technology is really kind of neat right now. We're seeing a lot of cool advancements and stuff like that. So yeah, great tip. Yes, it will autofill some stuff once you start using Microsoft Word. It'll do that for you. Yeah, very cool. All right, folks. Well, thank you as always for your time. I appreciate y'all so much. And I will see you next week. Have a great weekend.